It's that time again. We're playing this year for the Cochino Fantasy Football Slore. And this year we had a season that almost was not. Who will be victorious after the 2011-2012 Fantasy Football Cochino League season?
Woo! It's the 2011 Cochino Fantasy Football Draft with your host, David Martins.
I didn't see you there. Looks like this year's first pick for the Cochino Fantasy Football is David X. Martins. David X has a 25-13-1 record, and amazingly, he is the first winner of the Slore, even though it was non-existent at the time, and has the best overall record in the league. As you know, David has much in common with Colts. Actually, not at all. Most Colt fans are females, and David has nothing at all in common with them. Just ask his bed. Who's got Vic in the second pick? Damien Kidman. Who's got Vic in the second pick? Damien Kidman. Who's got a 4.10 winning percentage? Damien Kidman. Who's got 16-23 in the season? Damien Kidman. And 0 playoff appearances. The third pick for the fantasy football season will be Marco Gonzalez. Marco Gonzalez has made it to the playoffs twice, but just like his house keys, has managed to lose every time. Marco refuses to apply for social networking websites, so all of his fantasy football updates will be made by carrier pigeon. Archimedes? This is my draft. It's not fucking yours. My name's Eric Hostler, and I'm pick number 4. I don't want to win a game, because he has a playoff record of 0-0. Eric has a record of .308 overall in fantasy football. He's only played with us one season, and his overall record is 4 wins, 9 losses. Eric Hostler, you're an embarrassment to society.
Number 5.
Our 5th overall pick for the fantasy football season will be Christopher Coleflesh. Overall, Christopher Coleflesh has a record of 21 wins and 18 losses with a winning percentage of .538. He has lost both of his playoff games and any game that matters, just like Ohio State. And let's face it, if he were to win, he'd probably just sell the trophy or trade it for tattoos. So you're saying it's okay? Alright? Okay, perfect. Okay. Awesome. Bye. This just in, Rob's wife says he's allowed to pick 6th in the draft. Overall, Rob has a winning record of .641. He's made it to the playoffs, but has never won in the money. I'm sorry, I apologize. He has won in the money, but only 3rd place, which is second loser. Way to go, Rob. Way to go. Our 7th pick for the draft is Eric the Juggernaut Bush. Eric the Juggernaut Bush is one of the new upcoming stars for the Zombie Werewolves indoor soccer team. But unfortunately, his star power on the soccer field does not translate over to fantasy football. He does have a losing record of 17, 20, and 2, and a winning percentage of .436. Eric's only made it to one playoff game and lost miserably. Eric, you are the weaker Bush. Know this. Know this. Go. No, but seriously, he brings a fucking backboard to our backyard and thinks he's getting a fucking half pipe. And then he wears camo shorts with a fucking salmon shirt.
Dude,
we're
recording.
Oh. Our 8th pick in the draft is Duffy. Duffy brings nothing to the fantasy football league other than fashion. That is all. I hope you lose. Because I want to win. For our 9th pick in Cochino Fantasy Football, we have Nathaniel Photography. Overall, Nathaniel has a losing record of 9-17, so he's won roughly 1 out of every 3 games. And that's why he has the motto, I don't always play fantasy football, but when I do, I don't. I'm just so happy to be here. Pick 10 goes to Andrew Pesco. Cute. It's his first time in the league. It's true, Susie. Will he flop? These colors don't run. I would like to propose a trade, Andrew. How about my best two for your worst two? Chiste. Tell the joke, John. For pick number 11, we have Jack Flores. There's a lot of bad things to say about Jack Flores. First off, he's
actually, there's a lot of good stuff to say about Jack Flores too, because I'm Dave Martins and I forget about a lot of stuff. But we hear rumors this year that Jack is actually doing a lot of studying in regards to fantasy football, and that he will not be picking Brett Favre as usual in the first round as his first pick, as he does every year per tradition. You'll see he will be the biggest sleeper this year and a contender.
The good things about Jack, he smiles a lot and he looks like AC Slater. I guess that's it. Our 12th pick for the Cochino fantasy football season is Christopher Bushwhackers Bush. He has an overall record of 21, 15, and 3 and has made the playoffs each of the past 3 seasons. But unfortunately, like his San Diego Chargers, he's never pulled through to a championship. Our 13th draft pick is Laura Flores. She is allegedly the only person in our fantasy football group that has a vagina. Allegedly. She's made the playoffs each of the 3 years, losing in the finals, twice with her own team, once with her husband's Jack team that she assembled because he is basically a retard having sex with a bag full of doorknobs. Laura's had a good record, 22-16 with 1 tie, and an overall winning percentage of .564. She's had tough luck, and she has told me in detail what she plans on doing with the slore. So, she's not listening. She said first she's going to grab the slore, they're going to get into bed together, and then... Oh, dude, that shit was fucking hot, man. I can't... Hopefully she wins this year, because she said she was going to put that shit on the internet. Our final pick for the Cochino Fantasy Football is Brian Roque. Brian Roque of the Wild Cards does have an overall winning percentage of 20, 18, and 1. He's barely over 500, but he has come to win this trophy, the Slore, 2 years in a row. Other than David Martins, he's the only person to win the fantasy football season. What can we say good about Roque?
Nothing.
Fuck you, Brian. Something new to Cochino Fantasy Football this season is the division split between NFC and AFC teams. It's no longer divided between area code or city that you lived in. It is now divided based on a random draft pick. This year we have the NFC, which has 5 teams that are above 500. That is the team. That's the league to beat. That's where most of the winning teams are coming from. Of that league, we have Damien Kidman and Eric Hostler. They're the 2 teams that have the worst records in that division. And then the other 5 in the division are Chris Colflesh, Rob Miller, Christopher Bush, Laura Flores, and Brian Roque. The other division we have is the AFC. There are 2 teams that are above 500, so that should be the easiest team to get a win in. We do have 2 newcomers in that team. Just happen to be that Duffy and Andrew Pesco dropped into that division. The 7 in that division are David Martins, Marco Gonzalez, Eric Bush, Duffy Duffington, Nate Battaglia, Jack Flores, and Andrew Pesco. So this season we do have 14 teams. We have had trouble with people sticking around and being consistent with their teams. If that is another problem this year, then next season it will be down to 12 teams. So stay on your shit or you'll get dropped. See you at the draft.
Sail across an open sky, wings of freedom there, soaring up above so high, dancing in the air, and somehow we become a part of your story and your fame. That fateful day that broke our hearts, the way you found your name. Oh,